Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Hello, good afternoon to my colleagues once again. First of all, I would like to extend a special thanks to the sponsor for bringing forward this piece of legislation. I have always been one in support of anything where we honor individuals that have done great things in our territory, especially those of a humanitarian nature where they help the people of this territory. I wanted to just ask a couple of simple questions, and similar along the lines that I did before, as to what impact overall, and I was listening to the testimony of the gentleman that spoke about his mother passing and that Ms. McFarland was like a mother to him. Could you share with us what impact do you think overall that her presence made on the community? And do you feel that with her being gone, what void is here in our society?
Is a very big void that we have right now especially with the disabled community. Like I said, Ms. McFarland was like a mother to me, and losing my sight like 9-10 years ago, and not having a mother, it was kind of tough. And I was able to work through it, especially with Ms. McFarland, because she was able to guide me through certain things, and point me in the right direction to get the necessary help that I needed as a visually impaired individual, while still being, somewhat like a mother figure. The loss of Ms. McFarland is a very big void in the disabled community, because there's no one else out there like her.
Well, it seems that the fact that she was so involved left a positive impact on so many people's lives. And, as I listened to the testimony brought forward today, it comes across that she was very, very loved by the community. And one of the things that I wanted to ask, because I was listening to one of the other individuals speak about, because especially when you lose your sight, that just to be able to feel love and understand and recognizing it because it's a different experience. Do you believe that her love for the individuals with disabilities has transcended past her passing? And what positive things do you think can come about with the fact that she had so much advocacy for individuals with disabilities?
Ooh, that's a big question. The positive things is the memory of Miss McFarland will live on in them and those of us who she mentored at the Center for Independent Living, who she taught to be fierce advocates for our rights as individuals with disabilities. That will live on, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you, Madam Chair, for the time. I do appreciate the testifiers sharing their thoughts on this piece of legislation and Ms. McFarland. I know her impact has been positive and great, and I will be voting in the affirmative. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much, Senator Francis Heiliger, Senator Potter. Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, you're recognized for your 7 minutes.
Good afternoon to my colleagues. Good afternoon to the testifiers, the people of the territory, central staff, and my staff alike. The first set of questions, let me get this set out. There was the conversation in regards to St. Croix potentially going 100% solar. How long do you think that project is going to take?
Leeward Energy has said that they're anticipating 12 months. I will add one caveat to that. is that part of that is the ability for us as a territory to help with that. They need land, right? They need permits, environmental, other permits, things like
So
that.
you said 1 year.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Is this a realistic conversation, or is this a marketing ploy? And the reason why I'm asking this is because whose decision was it? Because when I first initially started to hear about this Crucian conversion to 100% solar, it came from the administration. Is this something that WAPA has signed on to, or is this just something? I'm trying to understand where it came from and who decided that this is something even feasible when a lot of energy companies are looking to diversify their energy production so that if something fails, they always have a backup. Is WAPA on board with this 100% conversion?
Absolutely. Before I even took the job, solar in the territory is a must achieve, right? That would have been a cornerstone of my foundational plan to address the cost structure and the efficiency of the Water and Power Authority. When the governor announced the initiative, it was after, and I'm not saying that I created the initiative or came up with the initiative, but we had active conversations before the announcement. So we absolutely are on board with that. It is something that I would absolutely have done regardless, right? Because it's so impactful for the territory.
Seeing that we are in a hurricane zone, how is the hardiness for these this solar project going to be? As you know, when hurricanes pass through here, a lot of the solar panels get destroyed. So if we're going to put one of the districts solely 100% solar, what is the thought process of the hardiness of it to protect and make sure that they will have energy continuously even after a hurricane?
So 2 points to make on that. One is that they can be built to sustain storms. Spanish Town, if it received any damage, it was de minimis. It was minimal damage. As I think everybody knows, on St. Thomas, the field was destroyed. And they were built differently, right? And that's why the field was destroyed. The other thing is, and I want to be very clear about this, we will never not be able to have enough fossil generation to keep the lights on. Right. And so because, we could have a tropical storm Fiona. Sun didn't shine for 3 or 4 days. Right. We'd have to have a fossil fuel generator to keep the power on.
OK. As you know, here in the district of St. Thomas, St. John, I think in 1 week we've had 3 power outages. That's a problem for me. I woke up last night to sweltering heat, and I have been very annoyed ever since, to be honest with you, because the back and forth of the power going on and off, and when consumers are out of power for hours, but somehow their bill is the same thing, I am not doing the math on that. Because if we have 3 or 4 power outages in 1 month versus a previous month, but within roughly the same amount of days, you're getting the same energy cost, how do you guys calculate this? Because I'll use myself for an example. I was looking at my business's electrical bills, and I noticed a pattern. I noticed that every other couple of months, I was getting the same identical bill. And I'm looking at it mathematically, and I'm saying, how is that possible? How is it possible for energy generation that every 2 or 3 months, and I mean down to the cent, if one bill was $1,232 cents, in 2 months, I got a bill that says $1,232 cents. And then another 3 months, it's 1,000. So I'm thinking, well, by God, I must be doing something great that I'm coming up with the same identical number. And I'm thinking from a mathematical standpoint, that's almost impossible. So I'm trying to understand what is actually being done at the water company, the electrical company, that could possibly bring about these types of things, because it has me scratching my head.
So I'd have to see your bill specifically to answer that question. I can't speak to it without seeing them.
I'll print them out and show you. So since that's your answer. The other concern that I'm having is, I'm going to be honest with you. When you guys were here talking before and sharing your report, all I was really hearing was blah, 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 blah. And that's me being 100% honest. As a consumer and as a resident that sits in my office as a representative that got 12, 13 phone calls that people are very frustrated over this energy crisis. I get very annoyed when I have this Inspector General report that there's no traction on it, because you have over 100 million that people can't even explain how the water company made quite a bit of decisions illegally as far as I'm concerned. Because if we have rules, regulations, and laws that have to be followed, and people just willy-nilly do what they want, and the outcome is higher rates for the people of the territory, that's a problem for me. I have a major concern when I've sat here and spoken to y'all on many occasions. Who is going to be held responsible for the embezzlement of the employees' money? I have yet to get an answer for that. But do you know who get the bulk of the calls? The senators. Because apparently we're responsible for everything.
1 minute.
We do not control the decisions of the executive branch. We don't control the decisions of WAPA. So I would be happy, and I'm going to be honest with you, I would be happy to prosecute everybody that I ever found was doing anything illegal at WAPA that is causing to put our community in this crisis. But apparently I can't do it. I don't have prosecutorial powers. That is under the executive branch. So I'm going to call out the AG to please somebody find out what in heaven's name is going on at WAPA. Could somebody please, why do we have an inspector general spending government money, writing reports like this, and I am not hearing anything is happening about it? Why do you have employees telling you illegally took my money, and I'm not hearing anything about it? Why do I have to wake up in the middle of the night in sweltering heat, but then my bill is still the same? And I'm not too happy with you guys. I am literally having a fight right now with you over water.
Time.
My water bill, ma'am, could I please finish my statement? I need 1 minute.
You may proceed, Senator Francis
I
Heiliger.
appreciate you. My water bill at my business was an average of $110 a month. It is now averaging $500, $600, $700. How much water do you need in one radio station? I am not processing it. And as much as I fight you guys, the last thing I had to do, you guys came down, checked the meter. Do you know what they found out? Even when the water was turned on and the meter was turning, no water was coming out because it was clogged up. So apparently I'm getting billed, and the gentleman had to go in, take out the whole entire meter and replace it. But I'm still getting $900, $500 bills. Why? And this is me. I have to fight these fights. What do you think is happening to the average consumer? Nobody is being held accountable for all of these things, and they are frustrating us. It is destroying our community. And I need somebody to tell me who is going to take accountability for a lot of these bad and lousy decisions that is wreaking havoc on our community right now. Who is going to take responsibility? Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Senator Francis Heiliger.
I appreciate you.
Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, you are recognized for your 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. As I sat here waiting, I really appreciate you getting to me. The first set of questions I would like to ask of WAPA, I know we shared a lot about the financial issues and concerns that you're having, and we clearly heard that from your testimony. But if you were to pinpoint something else outside of finances that is a hindrance to the better quality of WAPA, what would that be?
So I would say outside of the finances, it's arguably our billing system and our advanced metering system, because that impacts our customers, right, in terms of how they're billed, when they receive their bills, accuracy of their bills, and that sort of thing. Advanced metering, those kind of go hand in hand to have those put together. The other thing that does is that impacts the revenues of the Water and Power Authority, right? I have one objective as the CEO of the Water and Power Authority. I want to sell you reliable electricity. I want you to pay me for it, right? And if you don't, I'll disconnect you, right? That is the business proposition of the Water and Power Authority, right? I don't care whether you own your property, lease your property, have a notary, have this, have that, whatever. I don't care. Buy electricity from me and pay me for it.
Okay. And what have you guys done since you've now identified that as one of your major issues? What has been done so far to potentially improve that aspect of WAPA?
So several things have been done. For example, earlier this year, we got rid of the requirement of a filed and stamped deed to get service at your home if you are a homeowner. We're in the process. I'm actually waiting for a proposal to come in from customer service and legal to eliminate a number of other requirements like that we put on our customers to get service from us. We're beta testing now, the ability to go in and fill out an application to become a WAPA customer electronically on our website, right? We're one of probably a handful of utilities in the world that still makes you send paper in to do that, right? And so things like that make a huge difference in the customer experience for the Water and Power Authority.
Okay. One of the things that I have been working on diligently for the last couple of months in regards to Bill 34-0048, which is actually in the Committee of Government Operations, this committee, which has been on the agenda, taken off, put on, changed, and done multiple times. So I'm still waiting. I would have preferred it to be on here today so we could have had a chance to discuss it and knock it out one time, but the decision was made otherwise. But that piece of legislation has to do with a lot of estimation and disconnection, as you just spoke about, and trying to promulgate rules and regulations that WAPA has to be able to follow when it comes to the protection of the consumer. Because as of right now, how it's being done, it's based on just policy roughly. Do you think that your policies as it relates to estimation has been a benefit to WAPA just the way it is, as you guys make decisions accordingly?
Time.
Or do you think it has been a hindrance?
So our policy on estimation, I think it functions, but it functions, right? That's kind of a transactional word, right? Is it the optimal structure? No. Is it the worst structure? No.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Also, Senator Francis Heiliger, does that conclude your questioning? And just to clarify something, because we